and welcome to episode 108 of the Stress Knits podcast. My name is Stacy, also known as Stress Knits Yarn over on Instagram and Stress Knits on Ravelry. Today is Wednesday, March 18th, 2020. Now, I'm going to start this off by just saying I hope you're all safe. If you can stay home, that you're staying home, that you're washing your hands, you are staying away from people as much as possible. And I hope that those of you who don't have the option to stay home are safe and are doing well. And I'm just sorry that you don't have that option. This whole thing is awful. So, yeah. It feels weird doing this because there are obviously much more important things going on right now, but it's also important to turn the news off sometimes and to take care of yourself mentally and to go into an escape that makes you feel happy and grounded and takes a little anxiousness away. I know I have been glued to the news, glued to my phone for updates on what's going on because the unknown is scary, and that's okay. So I'm going to podcast and I'm going to post vlogs and just random videos throughout the next few weeks or months, however long this lasts, to give you somewhere to escape to still have community when all of us feel very isolated right now. And I just hope this helps. So yeah, I'm going to make a few Patreon vlogs public just to give you some more content to watch. Not everything will be public, but I will also not be focusing on Patreon right now, which is a little stressful because I do rely on that for some of my income, but I do still think it's important to support this community and know that not everyone can afford Patreon, not everyone has that option, so I would rather create some more free content to make life a little more livable right now. So when everything goes back to normal, if everything goes back to normal, which I hope it does, I think it will, then Patreon vlogs will be exclusive to Patreon, the ones that haven't been published, and like all of that will go back to normal. But for the foreseeable future, all of the content that I make will be going on YouTube for free. And I will throw it out there that if you can support me on Patreon, I would appreciate it because, again, that is part of my income. So, yeah, but also don't feel forced, don't feel obligated. Everything is going to be free here on YouTube, and it is not a requirement. Okay, so now that that's all out of the way, let's talk about knitting because that is what brings us together, right? So I haven't been knitting a lot in the last few weeks, but that has recently changed. And I think part of it is that I want more content for my podcast and for my vlogs and just all of that. And part of it is also using it to cope with the COVID situation. So let's talk about the thing that you've seen the most. So let's talk about my granny stripe blanket. Okay, so everything is tangled. Everything has just been like pushed on my desk. Also, can I show you this plant that's sitting next to me? This is a pinstripe plant. It's a calathea, and I love her. It's, like, the fact that these are natural is just so crazy to me. And then I have this in a gorgeous planter I got on Etsy. So this is my buddy that's on my desk right now, so I'm just gonna put her right there. Things are falling off my desk. I have no idea what's happening. So this is my granny stripe blanket. I think I've crocheted about 4 or 5 more stripes since you've seen it last. And the majority of the yarn going into this blanket at the moment is the 2018 and 2019 Sweet Sparrow Yarns Advent Calendar. Her 2020 is up, and if you like this blanket, you would really like that calendar, and Julie is amazing. I highly recommend supporting her. Yes, so that's what I'm doing. I'm currently putting in a stripe of my yarn, which is No Trail to Follow, which is a beautiful mint with some gray speckles. I love this blanket. It's getting there. I started this on my honeymoon in 2017. So January 2017 is when this was started. It is March 2020. And I finally just have the momentum to work on it. So this, I'm picking it up every now and then, but now that I have projects that I want to work on, my momentum has kind of slowed on that project. But here is my, I just got a notification that my Brooklyn Tweed shipment is on its way. Brooklyn Tweed, I have a lot of Brooklyn Tweed in my stash, but they're doing a thing right now where you can get up to 30% off of your order, and they kick back a percentage of that to your favorite local yarn store stockist of Brooklyn Tweed. So I took advantage of that today, and I kicked it back to one of my favorite stockists. So that is incredible that they're doing that. You get a sweater's quantity of yarn. Well, I got a sweater's quantity of yarn, but you can get some yarn for some projects for the same amount or for cheaper, whatever you can afford at this time. And also give back to your favorite Brooklyn Tweed stockist, which is just really exciting. I just ordered it this morning when they announced it. I got a sweater's quantity of postcard, which is my favorite Brooklyn Tweed colorway, to make a weekender. My weekender part 3. So hopefully this one fits. Yes, so I'm really excited about that. But yes, I'm using an crochet hook, which is a 4 or 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. This is just a Knitter's Pride. Yeah, there's nothing special about it. It's just a crochet hook. I really like the handle on it. And again, I got this on my honeymoon, so it's special. I'm also drinking coffee that I got a few days ago, so don't judge me. When I went to I don't know what that was. Trying to figure out if it was Eliza or not. I don't think so. I think it was outside. She can't reach anything. Okay. Anyway, sorry, that was a very loud noise and I don't know what that was. Okay. Anyway, when I went to take some orders to the post office, my Starbucks is still open. So I went and I bought a few cold brews and tipped my baristas very well. And this is the last one from that. So I'm enjoying it. My heart's like fluttering from that noise. It was very loud. Okay. Anyway, what else am I working on? I picked up a pair of socks. So you've seen this multiple times. This is from my advent calendar last year. This is the Skein 25 called Last Christmas. It will be a repeatable Christmas colorway starting in like October, November. That's when it will be re-released. I'm really excited about it. I am obsessed with this colorway, but I have been working on the second sock for a while now, and I finally picked it up. So I cast on the second sock when I was in New York in January, when I was on the plane, and I didn't get that far. I got through the ribbing, and so I'm finally working down the I'm working down the leg of the sock right now. Here it is, cake form. This is my favorite sock. This is my favorite base. It is a sock base, or I highly recommend it for socks. Sorry, I'm so distracted. I can hear Eliza talking to her stuffed animals, and it's really cute. But yes, my favorite base is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. It is a high twist, and it's my favorite. I use it for sweaters, I use it for shawls, I use it for socks. It's just a great all-around yarn. Yeah, so that's one thing I'm working on. And then I cast on something new. So anybody else's allergies? So it is allergies, just so you know. I get really bad seasonal allergies from mid-March to mid-May, and so my eyes are really itchy and my nose is really itchy. So it's a lot of fun right now. But I cast on a new project with yarn I bought in New York in January, and that is from Barnyard Knits, and this is the graphite colorway. And no, not graphite, granite. This is the granite colorway by Barnyard Knits. It is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon base, and I am in the middle of a row. But I'm almost to the end, so let me finish it while I'm talking about this. So I wanted to knit the Ripple Bralette by Jessie since it came out. But I just didn't know how I felt about like knitting a bra, or if I would ever wear it. And then I saw this yarn at Vogue Knitting and I loved it, but I don't love 75-25 blends for socks. I just don't like them. And it's also just not my favorite blend. I used to carry it, and then I slowly fell out of love with the base, but I still really loved Barnyard Knits yarn. So I was like, what can I make with one skein of Barnyard Knits without it being socks? And I was like, oh yeah, I could totally make a Ripple Bralette by Jessie, and that is what I cast on. So last 3 stitches. Okay. Also, if anybody ever wanted to see me knit, that's how I knit. So this is it. So I'm knitting the size large, which is a 40 to 42 inch bust. And here it is. I love it. So I just finished the bottom ribbing and I moved into the body of the bralette. So yeah, this is just some nice simple knitting. I've been working on it while we're watching movies on the couch or just hanging out. Yeah, I love it. I am using Knitter's Pride Zings. This is a size 4. I'm using what the pattern called for. Yeah, I'm just excited to see how this works because she is releasing a DK version of this bralette, and I already wound up yarn for it. So I will be using my No Trail to Follow colorway on DK for the Ripple Bralette DK. I'm really excited about it. Love this color. Yeah, so that's all I'm working on. I do plan on casting on a few more things, but the biggest thing that I will be casting on is my Rift by Jacqueline Cieslak. It is a knitted tee, but there are also instructions for long sleeves. I am hosting a knit along called Let's Rift KAL. It's the hashtag, and there is a chatter thread already in my Ravelry group. If you would like to participate, it is a size inclusive pattern. There are options for a custom fit bicep. There are options for length. There are options for the neckline, the sleeve length. It's just a very customizable pattern, and it's also a very wearable pattern. So that is why I picked it for a knit along. It will be going from the first day of spring to the first day of summer. So I think I got the dates wrong last time. I think the first day of spring is the 20th of March, not the 19th. But if you start on the 19th, I won't tell on you. It's fine. But yes, so I think it's March 20th through June 21st. I believe that's the window. The prizes. So there will be a mini skein kit from Stress Knits Yarn, as well as 4 skeins of either my favorite base or my singles base in a colorway of your choice. So that is like the main prize for the FO thread. Yeah, and if we have more people, like if we have a lot of people participate, then I will add more prizes in as we go. I do have a prize basket, so I will dig into that if it's necessary. So I'm really, really excited about that. I really hope you join in. It is the perfect, most simple knitted tee, and I cannot wait to have it in my wardrobe. So that is the big thing I'll be casting on. Also, I would like to finish. I know you're probably all sick of hearing about this, but let's talk about it. I thought Esther was in here. She is not. My Ronin, which I cast on over a year ago. This is the Ronin by Andrea Mowry. This is where I am. So, here we go. I am currently working on the first sleeve. Then I have one more sleeve and then the giant brioche collar. So, that fell. I will take care of that in a second. So that is what I'm hoping to work on and finish. I really love the sweater. I would love to have it. I've just had no motivation, and maybe this will be my motivation to get it finished. Yes, so let's see, what else is going on? So that's really all I'm knitting on. I'll also be casting on a weekender in the foreseeable future. And probably some more socks once I finish this pair. That's really it. Let's talk about let's do this. Let's talk about some things that I'm finding comfort in, just because you might also find comfort in it. So one thing that I'm doing is I'm trying to go for more walks. So as of right now, being outside is okay. This may change. If you're watching this in a few weeks and you're like, Stacy, actually no. This is as of right now. Being outside is fine, especially if you're not in a crowded area. So I've been taking my dog on 2 to 3 mile walks every day. Actually, after I'm done with this, Doug and I are going to take Eliza and Esther, our daughter and our dog, out on a walk, probably a 2 mile walk, and just kind of get some fresh air, enjoy it, because it is going to be rainy the next few days. So that's something I've been enjoying. Another thing I've been enjoying is yoga. Now, before you roll your eyes, because I get it, I've really enjoyed yoga since college. I used to go to classes with friends. I did it at the rec center when it was available, and it was great. But when you get older and you don't have student discounts and you don't have free classes, yoga is really expensive. So I kind of fell out of it, and then with pregnancies and stuff, I didn't do it. So I have gotten back into yoga. And I am doing a 30-day challenge with Yoga with Adrienne. I'm doing the one from 2015. Today is day 20. And it's exciting. I needed something that would go, hey, do this every day for X amount of minutes in order to do it. Because I'm a very goal-oriented oriented, oriented, yes, a goal-oriented person. So knowing that if I get through these 30 days, I'm going to be like, whoa, I did it. And then I can start over, right? Because there are a lot of different challenges. And yeah, I'm just finding a lot of joy in it. And I also got a yoga mat that I love. And maybe a few of you have been following me on my personal Instagram account where I've been trying to roll this out flat every day. So here's my yoga mat. It's a jade harmony mat, and I love her. She's near and dear to my heart. So that is something I've been doing. It's also nice because it's not dedicating a huge amount of my time. It's 20 minutes to an hour a day, and it's perfectly doable. I wanted to focus more on flexibility and just moving my body every day, and that is something that has been motivating me to do so. Plus, it's helping my anxiety a lot. It's not a cure for anxiety by any stretch of the imagination, but for me personally, it's helping. And then the other thing is plants. So I have recently gotten into plants pretty hard. I've been ordering them online, buying them in stores. Not recently, obviously, but I'll show you the one that's closest, I guess. Yeah, so this is a planter from Target. But yeah, so this is my Hoya Crimson Queen. Yeah, it's been fun. I've been watering them, I've been talking to them, I've been cleaning their leaves, and that has also brought me a lot of joy and some routine into my life recently. So those are the 3 things that I've been doing: walks, yoga, and plants. Yeah, and that's what's really keeping me sane. So I hope you're finding something. What are you doing to pass time, to take care of yourself? Let me know. I like suggestions and suggestions for what other people can do if they're not into walking, plants, or yoga. Another thing I'm doing, I ordered a few books. They should be arriving next week, and I'm going to try to set aside some time to read every day as well, just because I love reading, and I also think that would be a great way to pass time right now. So, and also, quick tip, if you are someone who is a reader and you were excited for like book tours or books coming out recently, or in the next coming months, pre-order those books, because a lot of people have had to cancel their book tours, and that is huge. So I just pre-ordered Jen Gotch's book. It's called The Upside to Being Down. So that is something I'm super excited about. I love Jen Gotch. So yeah. With that, let's talk about shop news. So first things first is I am offering a 15% off discount code to everyone with the discount code. Apply this code at discount. Stay home. Everything will be in the link below, and there's also a post on Instagram about it. You will actually see this yarn and this plant in it. Yes, I just wanted to make my yarn more accessible, because knitting is something that's going to keep us sane while we're staying home and keeping other people safe and ourselves. So I wanted to do that for everyone. And also, if you are not in a position to buy yarn, if you don't have yarn and it's something that you would like to have right now, message me. Just email me through the website. If you go to my website, which will be linked below, there is a contact form, and just write me an email. And I have stuff for my own stash. I have a huge basket of leftovers that is honestly, some things are like full skeins of yarn, and I can set you up with yarn for free. So if you are in need of that and cannot financially do that for yourself, I would love to help you out that way. Yeah, so let's talk about what's still in the shop. So I will say my shop is a little bare. It's getting bare. It's not bare yet. It's getting there, and I'm doing some dyeing tonight. I think I'll add like 50 or so more skeins to the shop after this dye session. But I just wanted to show you what's in the shop right now if you are looking to take advantage of this discount. Thank you so much to everyone who has, because it just means a lot that you're using the discount code and also supporting my shop. It's very nice. Okay, so let's talk. Might have to order some more of my favorite base. Okay, so let's talk about, okay. Let's talk about singles first since I'm holding them. On my singles base, which is 100% superwash merino single ply yarn, I have Sweet Disposition, one of my OG colorways. Actually, I have a bunch of OG colorways on single. I have Bell Jar, and I Smell Snow, and Grubby. This is the colorway I'm using for my Rift. Okay, so that is all available on single. On my Halo base, I have Sweet Disposition, which, just saying that there are sweater quantities of both single and, no, just single and Halo. I have my Jam, which is just a beautiful pink, and Etching, which is a nice gray. On my favorite base, I have Bell Jar, SSDGM, which I'm so glad you guys love this color as much as I do. That's actually incredibly color accurate. I've restocked this a few times this week. This is my personal skein because the other one is drying. And I also have Ophelia drying right now, which is a light pink with green speckles and a bunch of other speckles. On DK, the most yarn I have is on DK. And I have Eucalyptus, SSDGM, Perfectly Adequate, Mountain Mama, No Trail to Follow. So that's some of the stuff that's in the shop. There's plenty more. Yeah, just thank you everyone who's continuing to support my shop and other small businesses. Maryland Sheep and Wool just got canceled, so if you had a vendor you were looking forward to seeing at Maryland Sheep and Wool, go and support them now. Yeah, it's necessary, but it's also hard on a small business. So be thankful that Maryland is taking the proper precautions, but also support your local and small indie dyers, because it takes a lot to go into a festival or a trunk show or just a show in general. So go support all of those people. Continue to support your favorite indie dyers and just, yeah, stay home. So I will be seeing you around a lot more, and yeah, so I'll see you around. Bye.